Hello and welcome to another video here on DAX Wednesdays. In today's video, we're going to have a look at two DAX functions called quotient and mod. These two DAX functions belong to the math and trigonometry family of DAX functions. Let's switch to PowerBI for the demonstration. In one of our previous videos, we had a look at the divide DAX function where we were able to find out the value of division between these two numbers, numerator and denominator, the exact decimal value of dividing these two numbers. Divide also lets you treat cases where the denominator is 0. I had made a separate video on this. You can check that out by clicking on the link at the top right over here. Now, when you're working with such a data model in which you need to divide two values, you might be required at times to find out the value as a whole number, the result that is obtained by divisions. And not only that, you might be required to find out the number which is left over. I put up an example over here where we divide 34 by 8, where we get 4 as quotient and 2 as remainder. Now one might ask, can we do that in our Power BI report using a DAX function? Of course we can. So let me show you how it's done. Now before we'll have a look at the quotient DAX function, I'm just going to show you a workaround where you can find the exact value of the quotient using another DAX function called round down. I've also made a separate video on this DAX function in one of my previous videos. So for the round down, I can round a number down towards 0. So for instance, if I put in 18.33, it will round it down to 18. So what I can do is just provide the column name over here, which is divide. And for number of digits, if I were to put 0, you'll see this is the quotient that it has provided to me using a round down workaround DAX function. But that's not what we are here for. We are going to have a look at the two DAX functions called quotient and mod, in which we'll find out the quotient value and the remainder value. So let's put in another new column over here. Let's call it quotient. I'll type in quotient again. This time it will be the DAX function. So quotient takes in two arguments, the numerator and denominator. I will put in the two columns like this. Now, unlike the divide DAX function, which can treat values where the denominator is 0, quotient doesn't let you do that. I'll show you why. Right away, I'll close this formula. So you'll see it has returned to me an error because division by 0 has occurred in one of the rows. So it has returned to me an error. So in this case, what we can do is we'll have an if statement for, let's say, the denominator value. And I'll say if the denominator is 0, we'll use value as 1, or if it's not 0, we will use the value which is given in the column itself. So what will happen now? So Power BI will take a look in the values that is provided in the denominator column. If it's not 0, it will take the value as it is. If it's 0, it will take it as 1. I've closed the bracket. Now you'll see it has returned to me the values that were required. Now, of course, the quotient for the third row is 23 because I have used denominator as 1 over here. So you just need to be careful about this one. Otherwise, this DAX function works perfectly when there are no 0 values in the denominator side. So right now you can compare the other 4 values. You'll see it has given us the same exact values for the other 4 rows. So this was for the quotient DAX function. The other DAX function is we're going to have a look is where we get the remainder, the number which is left over, remainder. That DAX function is called as mod. We'll create a new column, type in mod again. This time it will be the DAX function mod. It's saying number and divisor, which is nothing but numerator and denominator. So we'll put in the column names like this. And one more time. So mod again, it doesn't take values where the denominator is 0. It will return an error for us. So one more time, what we'll do is we'll put an if statement where if the denominator value is 0, we'll use 1, or else we'll keep it the value as it is. So I'll close the bracket, and I will see it has returned us the remainder of the division. So this is what you can keep in mind if you ever come across a requirement where you need to find a quotient and remainder. Use these two DAX functions. Make sure that you don't have any values which are 0 in the denominator side, and you'll be fine. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments of what you thought about this video. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.